Why, hello everyone! WikiDoo here with another TF2 commentary, here to play as the Scout, using the Force of Nature, the Lugomorph, and the Sandman, playing on PL Thunder Mountain on defense. Now, as always, I've got a topic to discuss, but before I do that, I've got a bit of an update for you. Now, you may notice already that I have a bit of a quality change in my voice. That is because I am using a brand new microphone. I went from the Blue Yeti up to the AKG Perception 220. Oh yeah, that means I'm using a condenser microphone, so it does require a preamp, at least a preamp, but I got myself a audio mixer and a compressor paired up with this. And this is so that I'm able to have a lot of flexibility with my audio, and this is mainly to help me with streaming, since that's what I'm mainly doing, is streaming on Twitch. So this really gives me a lot of flexibility having multiple audio channels and controlling them on the fly like this. Plus, having a good microphone quality upgrade, it definitely helps. So I hope you like the new audio change. I definitely do like it. Someone commented to me that it definitely gives me more bass in my voice. That's a definite plus. But with that little update out of the way, I want to go ahead and discuss something that's been on my mind, and it's really got me pondering to a point where I want to be able to do something exciting, at least once in my life. And that is to be able to take your dream vacation to any place in the world. And that got me into this whole idea because in the next couple of days, I'm going to be flying over to Arizona, to where I'm going to be meeting up with my siblings and having a get-together. Now, I have not flown on a plane in over 10 years, and 10 years ago prior, or more so than that, I went to Arizona. That was just when I was just a little kid, like 7 or 8, and now here I am, doing it once again. And boy, was I absent from it for so long, and boy, do I need it. So this whole idea of me just going ahead and going to some place I've never even been to, well, technically I have, but, you know, I forget, so it's basically new to me. The whole idea of basically just going out into unknown territory can be exciting, but at the same time, it could be a little bit, treacherous, because you don't know what's out there. But still, having to go out into the unknown and visiting places that you've never seen before that is just absolutely gorgeous to look at and all that good stuff, it makes you wonder, what kind of dream vacation would you want? Me, on the other hand, I've kind of discussed this in a Q&A episode before, where I said if I was to live in one place for the rest of my life, where would it be? That's outside the US, or something along those lines. I would think that the first vacation that I would probably take would probably be the United Kingdom, simply because they speak the same English language as I do. Because my personal preference when it comes to having a relaxing vacation is to get my bearings. Having to know certain restaurants or like museums or landmarks or something about that. I want to get an idea where everything's at, and pretty much a common way to do it is through language. And since they speak the same language, that's pretty easy experience, I would say. Because really, if I was to go into any other place in the world where English is not really a common thing to be found, I would honestly have a hard time. No offense, I mean, that means I have to require more effort on my part to basically, get myself a little handbook there's actually a thing where I had to get a perspective. I had to talk to someone about this, that there's actually these handheld devices where you can literally type it in and they speak it in their language. I mean, that's pretty a lazy way of doing it, but for the sake of convenience, it's probably the best way to go. Or if you want to be go old-fashioned, you would have to whip out your little handbook and get common phrases for languages and all that stuff, and they'll be like, crap. Give me a second. Where's the time for what's German for what time is it, or Japanese for where's the bathroom, stuff like that. I kind of find that a little bit tedious, but let's say under the circumstance that I am familiar with another language, or at least having to be able to whip out a handbook at last second and figure out what the hell I should say. Let's put in perspective of a different place. How about Japan? Okay, most of you probably already know right now that I have an interest in anime, so a bit of interest in Japanese culture is bound to happen. So that would have to be my other choice. In all honesty, I would not even know what to do in Japan the first thing I had to go for. I'd not even look it up. Because really, all of the stuff that I've kind of learned from was through anime, which is kind of a bad sign because I would be a Patricia Martin in that case. Clever Lucky Star reference there. But seriously, that would be my most typical dream vacation. Would have to be somewhere in Japan. If not, then it would be the United Kingdom. But really, what kind of stuff would I have to do in those kind of places? I would probably do the typical stuff, such as going to restaurants, having to go to museums, or I know that kind of sounds boring, but what other kind of exciting stuff is going on right now? Like, oh yeah, arcade places. Yeah, I think there was like some sort of like I was pretty sure that there was like these bright neon colored like arcade places that you can play at or something like that. I kind of seen a little snippets of it. I don't know, it really comes down to like you have to research on what the hell you want to do there. I mean, it's something simple like, oh, let's say a cruise. Let's say something like the Caribbean islands, something along those lines. That seems like a very popular choice just because it's bright and sunny, being able to go out into the beach, having getting yourself a tan, riding with the dolphins, swimming away from the sharks. I'm sorry, but being in the waters, I just can't help it. It's just that I immediately think shark. And I'm like, shark! Hey, you see how useful that compressor is? It dampens down my shout like that. So, yeah, I had to point that out. But yeah, above all, my dream vacations would have to be something like the United Kingdom, Japan, or probably some sort of cruise to like Caribbean islands or something like that. But really, that's something that came off the top of my head, and that's not going to happen until somewhere way down the line where I'm actually a lot more financially stable. But I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you think is your dream vacation? What kind of stuff excites you the most? And I gotta say, what's exciting right now is that I get to go to Arizona again. Yeah! And with that, guys, I think that pretty much just wraps up the commentary. So I hope you enjoyed, and, you know, keep on dreaming about your vacation, because it might happen someday. I shall see you guys next time.